Hi everyone, I am back to do another flip through of my December daily album. I am doing a flip through from days 5 to 8 today. So I'll just flick through to the days where we got up to last time. Oh, and the thing I have added from last time was some of my Elf on the Shelf photos in the 2x2 page protector. I will take this out. I apologise if there's a lot of glare on the photos today. I'm trying to film in the afternoon and I've got a little bit of, my lighting's all in different spots. So I still haven't printed this one. So we got up to my Santa photo and that's where we ended last time. So day 5 is a 3x8 photo sleeve, and rather than using the whole sleeve, I printed a 6x4 photo and I just trimmed down the edges. I'm using an Avery index tab here to write decorating, and I've done that in like a bronzy colour. I don't know the actual colour on the stamp, but it's a Studio Calico mini stamp pad, and I just did that on both sides. So I've trimmed my 6x4 photos down to 3x6. So they fit in there. This is my nutcracker and my Christmas tree, and then I've used leftover gold sequins I had and the stars, the red stars, as I made a little shaker pocket at the bottom there. And then that sort of breaks the story up from this one to this one. I've got my 5 in gold. I've sort of stuck with the gold so far, which I'm really liking. I'm not too fussed that there isn't bigger ones. Over the last couple of years I've really liked the big numbers and the little numbers, but I'm finding it's really good this year, not as focused on it. So there's my Christmas tree. These are little ornaments when I was putting up things around my house. I also used a little snap folder, and on this one, I don't know if you can see that, I'll just zoom it in, I think it's out of frame, is a little wombat in a Christmas Santa sack. It's an ornament that my husband's mum gave to our boys. I think that was one of their first Christmases she gave that to them, so that was just a gorgeous ornament that I want to, write the story about. New ornaments, new pine cones I've added to our house. It's in summer here, we're in the southern hemisphere, so it's generally always bright and we don't get that lovely warm cozy feel that people in the northern hemisphere get when it snows and it gets cool. I love seeing all the snow photos at the minute. This year it's snowing in a lot of parts of America where it doesn't quite snow regularly, so we're getting all these beautiful photos, not only from the places in the northern hemisphere where it always does, in Europe and some of the northern parts of the US and Canada, but we're also getting a little bit further south, so that's awesome as well. These are some homemade Christmas tree ornaments we made. We made those on the 1st or 2nd of December. It's something just to keep us all busy at home. And I used the love card, which I did have in my foundation-y pages. So that's all day 5. This is day 6. I haven't journaled, as you can see, but I will journal tonight or tomorrow when I catch up and do the next couple of days. But that's day 6 in the gold. I used a tag here. This from the Ali Edwards kit. Yeah, so I've used the Ali Edwards kit one there. I've used, this was a 6x8 page and I've cut it down to size because I used it somewhere else. I've got all the scraps from that piece of paper spread throughout and it looks really good. So I've got this moment, and rather than journaling on this card, I've just put the photo straight onto it and printed it smaller, slightly smaller than 3x4. And we're baking. This day is us baking. I didn't finish all my baking, so I was making a gingerbread house, which we do every year, but the recipe that I use takes 3 hours to cool all the ingredients in the fridge, and then you bake it, and then you got to let it cool after you bake it, and then you can build the house from there. So you make your icing and you build it. So it usually takes a day or 2 for us, because by the time I've thought to make the dough and put it in the fridge, it's usually overnight, and then I will bake it all day because I've got to bake it in pieces, and it takes nearly all day for me to get it all done and cool, and then we usually put it all together the next day. So rather than spreading it across 3 or 4 days, I always put it in one story, either the day that it's finished or the day when I've started. Either way, I usually go around, but it doesn't matter. As long as you're getting the story that you want to put down, it's the thing that matters. Let It Shine, this piece here, this was from last year's kit, so it was a leftover. This green tag and then the glitter paper, that was a leftover from last year. I was going to make into a card and it never found its way into my album, so that's just an awesome thing that was already sitting there ready to go. And I have here, but I haven't done a lot of stuff outside of the page protectors earlier on in my album. I've got lots of page protectors, so I've cut up a 6x4 piece of cardstock that we got in the kit. I actually stuck it back to back. I only wanted to do 2 pages for the spread, and I had extra photos that I really wanted to add, one of each of my boys cutting using the cutters. So I just put one on each side and put the Joy chipboard on it, and that was it. So that was another way for me to add a little extra piece outside. So then there's that one. And then I wanted to get the boys outside and about and moving and keep them busy. So we went for a bushwalk and we drove about just shy of an hour. It was 50 minutes away from our house to Robertson. We took our Elf on the Shelf and we did her photo there for the day. And there's my boys. And so we took selfies, obviously, and I took photos of them out and about as well, walking down. So I don't know if you can see, but there's the Elf on the Shelf there. Excuse my horrible nail polish. I have not touched them up or redone them. I will have to for the next video, so I apologise. Side note, sorry. And then I cut down a 2x2 page, or 2x2 sleeves on the page. So I've just got the 6 squares, and I have heaps of photos because we went to the nature reserve in Moreton National Park, which is where the rainforest is, and we went for a rainforest walk, which was awesome, and the boys loved it, but it didn't wear them out enough. They're 3 and 1.5. They've got bounds of energy, and I don't have all the energy, and I just wanted them to sleep. We haven't been doing sleeping so well for my son Reed because he's just learned how to turn the doorknobs completely around so he can get out of doors now. So that's been a learning curve, and we're just teaching him how to sleep and fall off, and our nighttime routine setting, like it's always been set in place, but just reiterating it for him. So I was wearing them out this day, and so there's some rainforest photos here where I've looked up into the sky and taken photos from my head. My son with this big piece of tree that'd fallen over in the canopy, and this is a caterpillar that I saw. It was in a strand of spider's web and it was just spinning and spinning and spinning around, so I got a really nice close-up of that. Selfie moment, the little chipboard piece. I've just used another chipboard piece, stuck them back to back in there. And then after we went to the rainforest, there's some waterfalls 10 kilometers up the road, so about 10 minutes drive. So we went up there as well, and I wore them out further. So there's another photo that is from the rainforest, but these ones are from our walk at the waterfalls. And this one was just amazing because you can't really see it unless you're looking at it, but there's all these vines, and they're called wonga vines, and they climb up the trees, or maybe they climb down the trees, but they cover the very tops of the trees and all the way on the bottom. And I love taking photos, close-ups of any sort of nature thing that I find fascinating. So there's some seed pods for a tree. And then because this is all just one big connection of day 7, so in day 7 I've used a big number, but this was their new Christmas shirt for this year. I'm hoping to sort of add little Christmassy shirts as we go. We always used to buy, when they were babies, a jumpsuit and they'd wear it in their Santa photos, but this year we didn't get them in time. They just wore nice outfits. So they've got Thomas, because I love Thomas. So Thomas was their Christmas shirts, and they'll just keep wearing it in the lead up to Christmas. So I put the tag from the shirts in there as well. I just hole punched that hole a little bit bigger. And then on this one I've used the kit to make a scrapbooking layout for a 6x8. So this paper here was in the kit. These 2 papers were left over from last year, and this strip here is from another paper collection I've got that's Christmas themed. Bits of ribbon. I've just noticed that a piece of ribbon there has folded over in on itself. So I'll just fix that up now. That's going to bug me. There we go. And then these are some enamel dots that are stuck on wood beads, so they look like big buttons. And I got those from the Reject Shop in an embellishment kit. So I've just wrote cheeky and love this memory. And love this memory, that is a tiny word sticker from last year as well. But I really love this. I wanted to add more. When I flicked through my 2015 and my 2016 albums, this was what I wanted to add a bit more of. The scrapbook layout or look to a page here and there. It doesn't have to be all the way through the album because I do like this look as well. But that was just something I wanted to add as well. So my day 8 isn't printed. It's going to be a 6x8 photo. Here in Australia, I don't know if everyone would know about it or not, but we voted whether we wanted as a nation gay marriage and the LGBTI community to be able to get married. And so the law was passed and changed on the day 7, so the 7th of December. It was officially changed through the House of Representatives in our lower House of Representatives in our government. So that went through and I was an avid supporter. And I don't mind if anyone is or isn't, but I'm adding it into my album because it's something that's significant to me. It's something that I feel strongly about, so I'm going to add the photo. I'm going to have just one of Ali's digital word stamps across it as well. And that'll be my day 8, just with the number 8 there. So something significant to me, but it's going to be a very simple page all over. I'm sort of up to this tag, and I've got ideas for it, so I think I'll use that in the next couple. Today is the 10th, so I am slightly behind, but I will do 1 or 2 days together when I do it. So I might do 9 and 10 or just 9 tonight, because I've got to print that when I go to the printer. But I hope you've got some ideas from mine today, and I hope you enjoyed looking at it. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate that people do come back and look at my album and see it and make lovely comments on it. So thank you. Thank you for coming back and watching, and I'll see you next time with the next couple of days in my album. Thank you. Bye.